We are finally back after almost a month hiatus. Welcome back, everyone, to Down on the Sidelines podcast, aka the Dots podcast. Here on the home sideline at Lakeland University is your boy, Matt Crowley, aka Matty Icy.
And here on the away sideline here in Stevens Point, it's been a while.
It
My
has.
goodness. Is your boy Brett Stockoff, aka 99 Brett's, Brendini, or you can just call me by my name, Brenden Retzloff. Thanks for tuning in to episode number 12, week 13 of the NFL season here on season 2 of the Dots podcast. It should be a really good one, but man, since we have missed quite a bit in the last month, Matt, how about we just talk about what's been going on with us for the past month? It's nothing bad or anything.
No,
I almost made that sound like it was bad.
Yeah, no. Obviously, we're both college students. It's starting to get to the final push of college for the semester. So a lot of classes, just being able to have availability to do this. So currently it is December 1st. And so it's, like we said, I think it's almost been a month. November 9th, I think is the last time we uploaded. And so it's been a while, that's all I can say. Like I said, classes, college is really taking over. Just like I said, that final push, trying to get everything in. Obviously, football's dear to our hearts, but when we're trying to figure out stuff, obviously, the last time we were supposed to record, my friend from military came and actually surprised me, so that's the reason why we didn't do it. Then the next week, I don't think neither of us were available. We were having a hard time trying to fit it in.
Well, yeah, when it comes to Thanksgiving and all of that, it's going to be hard to get things together.
Mm-hmm.
We had thoughts about filming an episode back at home together because, we've done a couple of those before, but we just couldn't find a time frame to get anything like that done. So it's our apologies that we've been gone for a while. I know we actually have like a decent amount of viewers with us. Like, I'm actually shocked how many people tune in to our stuff.
I have like people who are like, "Hey, when are you like uploading your next one?" I was like, I'm trying to figure it all out.
Yeah, and over the last couple of weeks as well, I've actually had people ask me like about like, oh, when are you gonna upload? And I've also had some of my girlfriend's family ask me about that stuff too, because I think they actually want to check it out. So I love that they're supporting me. I love my family supporting me. I love that all of our friends are supporting us like through all this kind of stuff. And I mean, for you, Matt, you said your friend from the military came to visit. I mean, what do you guys get to go do once he showed?
Well, so we basically went out to dinner. It was right before deer hunting, so she came Thursday, and then I was like, all right, I got everything planned. I'm doing homework from this time. Then this time I got my podcast, and then the rest of the time is going to be more homework. Podcast homework got thrown out because she actually came. So, yeah, we went out to dinner. Obviously, to spend time with her. And then Friday, I left here around noon because it was deer hunting for me. And so, yeah, that was mainly the last time was deer hunting. So it's been, like I said, it's been a while. And obviously, like, those things are like once in a lifetime. I don't see someone often as I used to. So obviously, her coming back and surprising us was huge.
And I mean, that's really cool. And I saw that you actually tagged a deer, didn't you?
I did. I got a 7-pointer opening morning. Waited about 35 minutes.
You gotta love it once you get the venison with you. Pretty freaking clutch, dude.
Venison is so good.
But yeah, for our Thanksgivings, I mean, I just spent time with my instant family. Sister-in-law came over as well, and we just had a quality. We're a family who does the lunch. We're not the big dinner family.
We're
the big lunch family.
We're lunch.
And I think lunch is the way to go, to be honest, because that's how you get started with the day.
Okay, are you ham or turkey?
dude, I'm 100% ham. I'm not a turkey guy whatsoever. No turkey for me, sir.
Turkey all the way.
I, I just don't know what it is about turkey. Like when it's dry, I just don't care for it at
No, yeah,
all.
dry turkey
But
is
if
the
it
worst, but still, turkey is amazing.
maybe I'll have to get back into the turkey part for next year, but I'm sticking with the ham for now because, dude, ham ham with the Hawaiian rolls in it. Oh my
That's
gosh.
actually so good. That I
Or
can
the whole
confirm.
actually Hawaiian rolls with ham in it. I said backwards, but I mean you know what I mean. And
Yeah, I know
then
what you meant.
you put that ham in the smoker and you put like a little bit of pineapple in there. Dude, you get the acidity of the pineapple right on that honey ham. Oh my gosh, dude. And then you put that on the roll. It's a game changer.
Yeah, I still like my turkey. Turkey with gravy. You cannot go wrong with it. Nice
It
protein.
seems like it seems like you can go both ways, but you're more of a turkey guy.
I prefer turkey because turkey is supposed to be for Thanksgiving.
That's fair. Speaking of things for Thanksgiving, how about Jordan Love not getting the turkey
I don't think
or
they.
or
I don't
whatever
think
the
they
heck it
never. I
was
don't think
called?
they do a turkey for the noon game.
I think they did, and I heard news that they made the turkey for the Lions, but and they also made one because they thought the Lions were gonna win the game.
Well, yeah,
But then I know they also made one for in the broadcasting booth where Greg Olson just like stuffed his hand inside the thing. And then he just started eating it on the live broadcast.
that's awesome.
And like for my okay, from ourselves, we've done broadcasting stuff before.
Hmm.
Do you eat in broadcasts
No, I
or
don't because that's first off, it's unprofessional.
yeah, it's that's what I was saying. Like I was telling this to my family. I was like, why the heck is he eating food on a live broadcast? I would never do this. I I mean, I've eaten food before, like during a broadcast, but not when it's live.
Yeah, like in
So like
commercial breaks.
in commercial breaks, yeah, exactly. But I thought that was another interesting thing. But rest of my Thanksgiving, played some board games and card games with my brothers, did a little bit of Christmas shopping, and went back here to Stevens Point afterwards. So it, I had a good time. I don't know about you.
I had a good time. Obviously, filled with a lot of hunting. Um, friends, not so much friends, but family. Lifting, honestly, keep me insane. Then homework. So that was really my Thanksgiving. Uh,
Oh yeah, true. I spent time with some of my friends too. Forgot to mention that.
mhm.
I didn't want to forget about them. So
Yeah, but yeah. So we're here, back doing the dots.
feels good, man.
Yes,
And
it
we got
does.
quite the lineup
We
here
do.
for today. So I mean, first off, I mean we already recapped our Thanksgivings and our times, but we're gonna go over the injuries and the news and the latest that's going on around the NFL, especially since we have missed 3 straight weeks
Also, we got to
of
talk about
calling
playoffs because
football.
playoffs are coming soon.
The fact we're on week 13 already is beyond me. I mean, I was just telling you this before we started the show, but I I don't understand how 13 weeks have gone by this fast. And keep in mind we're recording on the Friday after the Thursday night football game
Yeah, so
with the Cowboys and the Seahawks.
surprisingly, it was a very good Thursday night game.
Best one of the year by far.
Yes, it has. But yeah, let's get right into it. Try and keep these short like we have promised. But yeah, injuries and news. Obviously, don't know much about injuries besides, well, Joe Burrow is out for the year with IR. Deshaun Watson as well. Um, Trying to think of who else is on IR. But yes, news.
Um
Obviously, we all know that Joshua Dobbs got traded to the Vikings, had great two first games, and now they're on a 2 game losing streak. Broncos are a sneaky good team. Colts are a sneaky good team. What else?
I would say the Broncos are more than a sneaky good team. They're the hottest team in the league right now with the
Yeah, I think they have
Eagles.
a 7 game win streak right now, or
I think
six.
they're at 6.
I think yeah, they're
It
at
actually, it
six
might
because
be
they started
5.
1-5.
I think they're at 5 then, because I think they're 6-5.
Yeah. Obviously, my Vikings lost to the Bears, which was humiliating to watch. But the Packers are bouncing back, though. I'll say that. They won 3 straight.
Jordan Love played, I would say, his best game of the year. I think he played a better game than the one against the Bears in Week 1.
Mm-hmm. He
And
played very good against Detroit.
it's a great thing to see that he's on that bounce back, and now the Packers, they are in the discussion for the
They are
playoff
the eighth
race.
seed.
And if they win on Sunday, they become the 7th seed since the Seahawks lost.
Yes, because Minnesota is currently the 6th seed.
But I'm looking at the injuries, looking for any big names on here from last week. Um, Browns quarterback Dorian Thompson,
Oh, DTR.
Robinson,
He's out.
he got injured with a head injury, and Amari Cooper also had a rib injury, but
Oh,
I think he's gonna play next or this coming week. Um, let's see here. Other news: Bailey Zappi replaced Mac Jones as the starter.
that's kind of to be
Um,
expected.
yes. Um, Rashid Shaheed got injured for the Saints. Chris Olave got a concussion.
I remember that, yeah.
Fletcher Cox had a groin injury
Yeah, that was a good
against the
game, too.
Bills. I would say that might be the game of the year so far.
Probably. That was a very high scoring, very good game.
But those are pretty much all of the injuries from this past week. So not much going on, but yeah, it's just how many times quarterbacks have been injured this year. And
Mm-hmm.
another thing too, Matt, that we don't have on our list for things to talk about is how MetLife Stadium is cursed and is
Yeah,
ending
Jalen
people's
Phillips. That was another
careers.
one. Jalen Phillips. I guess on that Black Friday game, popped his Achilles.
Dude,
Basically, it's claimed another victim.
they ended up or Hard Knocks is
The Miami
doing filming
Dolphins.
right now on the Dolphins, and they just did their episode
Yeah,
on that, and I mean you could tell Jalen Phillips was devastated
he
and
was. Yeah,
heartbroken.
you could. Yeah, I saw on TikTok like just like that portion. Like even the Jets players, like, bro, you good?
Yeah, I mean, tips off to them for the sportsmanship
Mm-hmm.
and all of that, but I think Jets players just surprised. It seems like somebody gets injured every single week there
Yeah.
with either an Achilles or some ankle or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look up the list of injuries from MetLife.
We got Rogers. You got Jalen Phillips. Rogers is coming back to play, which I don't know what he's. I don't know if because there's a discussion like he's like, oh, did he actually like tear his Achilles now because he's been since what September was it 12 he tore it and then now he's back in December like a 2 3 month recovery, which is just unheard of for Achilles.
Yeah, and it it's like super. It's like a supernatural power
It really
that
is.
Aaron Rodgers has right now. But I I don't know if you've seen the clips of him. I'm sure you have, where he just throws the ball. He doesn't look comfortable doing it. At
No,
least
he's
to me,
probably
he
still in
doesn't.
pain, but he's telling everyone he's fine.
I mean, Rodgers did play a game on one leg against the Chicago Bears and came back to win
Mm-hmm.
in that season opener like 5 years ago already.
Yeah.
So, hey, maybe that's why he's just hiding that so well right now. Because I mean, he can play with a leg.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at a list of the injuries. So obviously Aaron Rodgers, Jalen Phillips, both to ACL injuries. But then check this out. This list is going to surprise you. So this is the list of injuries that have ever occurred at MetLife to some pretty great players, but this doesn't really include too much of it being the turf. But Nick Bosa had an ACL tear there. Solomon Thomas had an ACL tear there. Jimmy Garoppolo had a severe ankle sprain. Raheem Mostert had an MCL tear. Sterling Shepard tore his Achilles and ACL. Jabril Peppers tore his ACL. Kyle Fuller tore his ACL. Already said Aaron Rodgers and Jalen Phillips. So
There's
how
something bad
cursed is
about
this
that
place,
turf.
dude? How cursed is this place?
I think they just need to get new turf. That's my thing.
I I don't know what they need to do because Amazon AWS, my brother pointed this out over Thanksgiving, but he says that Amazon AWS teams up with the NFL to provide safer environments and
Mm-hmm.
all of that and equipment for football players. I don't know if it's really working out well for them because I mean the amount of injuries we've seen this year, I want to say is significantly higher than
Mm-hmm.
normal.
Yeah, we've seen
And
a lot more. Like as we said, like our subject is actually naming all 50 starting QBs. So that's going to be actually really interesting to do because
the fact that there have been 50
yeah, there's 50.
quarterbacks, there's 32 NFL teams for those people who don't know too much
Mm-hmm.
about the NFL. So to have 18 extra starting quarterbacks or come from backup to starting, that's over half the league switching to
Yeah,
a backup. I think that's just a crazy statistic, but um it just sucks to see all these players get these injuries, especially injuries that aren't even deserved. But I will
no.
say on that Jalen Phillips play, he was grabbing his leg before that play. I don't know if you saw that. Like he kind of like reached down at it and started like rubbing it a little bit. And
I didn't
then
see that. No.
on the play, I mean, his Achilles just popped and he just went right to the ground. But yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on though with injuries and everything. Do you have anything to close with that?
I think MetLife just needs to get new turf. That's really what they need.
I would agree with you on that. The stadium also looks ugly.
Yeah, it does.
That's a stadium Ben and I are not looking forward to going to.
I would say FedEx Field.
That's another one with all their sewage damages and whatever the heck they've had going on.
Yeah, it's like super
Yeah,
bad.
it's not great. Um, Another thing that we don't have on here, speaking of curses, I actually have a great curse for you to listen to here. Um, so Ben and I were doing this stadium tour thing.
Yep.
We're getting jerseys for all of these players, who are playing on these
Hold
teams.
on. I think I know what you're about to say.
Do you want me to continue?
Yeah, I'll let you explain it, but then I'm going to guess.
All right. So, the first jerseys we ended up getting, we got Packers jerseys just because we were going to a Packer. I think it was a preseason game,
It
and
was a
I ended
Patriots.
up I ended up getting an Aaron Jones jersey, and he ended up getting a Zadarius Smith jersey. Zadarius Smith never played a freaking game for the Packers since that game. Um, and then the next game that we did, I believe, was I think it was Cincinnati that we went to. Yeah, we went. It was Cincinnati when I got Jamar Chase jersey and he got a Joe Burrow jersey. Well, Joe Burrow right now. I mean, we all know what's going on with him.
Yeah,
He's
he's
out
out.
for the rest of the year. Um, so that's a problem. And then the next game, I think people can see where I'm going with this. Ended up going to Kansas City, and I mean, this one's a little different, but I ended up getting Patrick Mahomes. He got a Travis Kelce jersey. Right after he bought the Travis Kelce jersey, Travis Kelce had that scary ankle injury against the Vikings, if you remember
Yeah, I
that.
remember that.
And we were worried that he wasn't going to be playing, so the Thursday night game the next week was going to suck really bad. Fortunately, he was able to play. And he also ended up buying an AJ Dillon jersey over last year. And AJ Dillon has just not performed great at all. So I'm just going to say it. I think Ben's cursed.
That was
It's
not
like
what I
the
was gonna
Madden
say.
curse with a human.
I was gonna say, but then I realized I was actually not wrong. I was gonna say, whatever team you go visit, they lose. But then I remember the Chiefs
Kansas
did beat the
City,
Broncos, and then the
the
Bengals lost against
Packers.
Pittsburgh.
And we also went to one of the Packers and Vikings games the year before we went.
Oh,
And the Packers won that one. And I'm trying to remember what that one was all about, but I think Ben was having Ben had a sign for Kirk Cousins for that game since he was out, and
oh, I
he
remember
called it
that.
like
It was like
instead
COVID
of at
because
home.
he got COVID.
Yeah, instead of the sign saying at home with Baker Mayfield when he was with Progressive, it was at home with Kirk Cousins or
Mm-hmm.
Captain Kirk. And then he just had the mask on. It was pretty good. But
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say that Ben may be cursed. So the next game we go to, I hope he gets a player that's not relevant.
Yeah, hopefully. But yeah, that's kind of funny. But I think going into our next subject, which is a QB carousel about all 50. So I think the easiest thing to do is just go straight by division.
Do you do you want to try to guess all of them?
Yeah, I can try and guess. I'll
All
start
right.
with the NFC North.
I'll pull up a list here real quick
Yeah,
before
you
you
probably have the
start.
list. These were just starts, correct?
Yes. Hang on a second. We'll see if this list is relevant. It's got to be the Pro Football Network here. They're making me pay for this article. Screw them. Okay, here we go. Every starting quarterback and backup quarterback in 2023. This should be a good one.
All right. You ready for me to go?
Yep.
All right. NFC North. Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Justin Fields, Tyson Bagnett, Kirk Cousins, Jaron Hall, Joshua Dobbs. NFC East, Dak Prescott, Daniel Jones, Tommy DeVito, Jalen Hurts, and Sam Howell.
Um, you ended up missing the Bears. You said Tyson Bagent. It's Justin Fields right now.
You said that have started, right? Because they both have
Oh,
started
that's
in
fair.
game.
That's fair. I don't think you said Justin Fields
I
though.
did. I did say Justin Fields.
Okay, you did.
Flip it.
Okay.
Um, NFC South, Bryce Young. I think Andy Dalton start. Yeah, Andy Dalton started a game. Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, Jameis Winston. I think that's
Oh,
it
it's
for the.
so dumb that this website's not by division. It's in alphabetical order.
Okay. Just use Control F.
I don't think this is gonna help though.
Yeah, because you just type in the quarterback name. If they pop up, they pop up.
Yeah, but you're listing them off so fast.
Okay. I'll restart for the NFC South. Baker Mayfield,
Yep.
Derek Carr,
Yep.
Jameis Winston,
Yep.
Bryce Young,
Yep.
Andy Dalton.
Correct.
What was the other one? Oh, the South. Oh, you got Taylor Heineke,
Yep.
Desmond Ritter.
Yep.
All right. You want to go over the East?
Go over the North again.
Uh, Jordan Love, we know. Jared Goff, we know.
Yep.
Fields and Bagnett, we know.
Yep.
Cousins, we know. Dobbs, we know. And then Jaron Hall. Because he got injured against Atlanta, but he started.
What was the last one you said?
Jaron Hall.
Jared.
He came in for. He replaced
I
Cousins.
don't. Oh, I know what you mean. I think. Did he start a game though?
He started, but he didn't finish it. Because that was a game that Dobbs took over and won.
I
It
know
was in
what
the
you're
first
talking
quarter.
about.
That's why he got injured in the first, but he started.
Oh, yep. Okay. It was Jaron Hall. Okay. I thought you said Jared. Never mind.
Oh,
We're good.
Jaron. No. So we got the North, East, and South done. Now time for the West. Geno Smith.
Did you do the East? I don't think you did the
Yeah,
East.
I did. I did. Because I said Sam Howell.
No, you didn't.
I
I mean, now
totally
you
did say
did.
it. I totally did do the East.
We're
So
gonna have to look back on that one. Okay.
Sam Howell, we know. Jalen Hurts, we know. Dak Prescott, we know.
Yep.
And then Danny Jones and Tommy DeVito, we know.
Tommy. Yep.
Those are those five. Um, Now going into the East,
The West.
the West. Thank you. We got Geno Smith.
Yep.
We have Brock Purdy.
Yep.
We have Matt Stafford.
Yep.
We also have um, Bryce Pippen because
Dude, I would have.
he started against the Packers.
How the frick do you spell this guy's name?
Pipen, I think.
Um, I'm hitting Control F.
I know who I'm
Don't.
talking about. I'm gonna look it up.
I know who you're talking about as well. Is it a Typen?
Brett Rippin, not Brett
All
Rippin.
right. Brett
Ripon.
Rypien,
Yes,
right?
that's who I meant. That's who I meant.
All right. I'm gonna say you got that one wrong. Otherwise, you got all of them right so far.
Whatever. Then we're going into. All right, so I got the
Oh, you
uh,
forgot the Cardinals.
Cardinals is Josh Dobbs, who was named for Minnesota.
Yep.
Kyler Murray.
Yep.
He got benched by someone. I know. There's another one in there. There's three Cardinals I know.
I'm gonna make sure that there were,
I think there was
because
three
there might have.
Cardinals that started.
Let's see. Ah, I know who it is.
I probably know who it is, but I can't think of it.
You do. You do know who it is. Um,
Can I get a hint?
um, I gotta see what teams this guy's played for. He's played for multiple teams. Okay. His career started with the Redskins, with Washington.
With Washington. What year?
Um, that's a great question. He went to Texas for college.
Went to Texas.
Um, he started with Washington, or no, it says his career started in 2010. Never mind. With the
2010.
Cleveland
Okay, so
Browns.
he's old.
With the Cleveland Browns.
With the Browns.
So he
Is it
went from
Deshaun Kaiser? No.
Deshaun Kaiser's not that old. So this guy's track went from Cleveland to San Francisco to Washington to New York to Arizona.
What New
That's a
York
tough
team?
one.
Jets or
The Giants.
the Giants? It's not Tyrod. Wait, no.
He went
Tyrod Taylor played a
he,
game this year. He
he
did.
went to Texas. I
Oh
think
my.
that's a big clue.
Texas. I'm trying to think.
I actually knew this before it
Who
popped
is
up.
it? I'm giving up on this one.
It's Colt McCoy.
Oh my gosh. Yep. Yep, now I remember him playing. I think Tyrod Player also played a game for the Giants this year. He started, I'm
Tyrod
pretty
has
sure.
played. Correct.
Yeah, that's what I knew after I said it. I was like, yeah, he played for the Giants. Okay, so I got two wrong. Into the AFC. I'll start with the AFC North. Lamar has played.
Correct.
Kenny Pickett.
Correct.
Deshaun Watson. And then
Yep.
DTR. Have they counted
What's
Flacco or no?
What's DTR's full name, sir?
Is Dorian Thompson people? No, Robinson. Fuck.
There you go.
Shoot.
Language. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did they count Joe Flacco? Because I know he's taking first team reps. He's going to start this week.
Joe Flacco has not counted yet, but I will give that to you because
Okay.
he is on that list.
Then Joe Burrow and Jake Browning.
Correct.
Because they signed Trevor Simeon, but they never started him. All right, going to the East. We have the Jets have been Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson. And he just started. What is his name?
I know it.
Tim Boyle. That's what it was. Tim Boyle.
There you go.
Tim
there
Boyle.
you go.
Because I knew he played in Green Bay with Rodgers. Bills it's just been Josh Allen.
Correct.
Who's in the East? Dolphins has been Tua.
Yup, he's the only one so far.
I
Yep.
think Mac Jones has started every game for the Patriots. I don't think he's been benched multiple times, but I don't think he's never haven't started.
Do you want to count next week?
If next
Or this
week, then
coming
it's
week?
Bailey Zappi.
All right, so we can add another one. So technically, there's 52 quarterbacks.
Bailey Zappi. So that's it
Yep.
for the East. So AFC South, you got C.J. Stroud.
Correct.
You got Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
You got Ryan Tannehill and Malik Willis. Will Levis.
Yep.
Will Levis.
Do you say Malik Willis?
I meant to say Will Levis.
All right. Yep. He's the starter currently. Yep.
And then who else am I missing? Jags, Texans.
Colts.
Colts has been Anthony Richardson and then Gardner Minshew.
Correct.
Then we're going into, so I hit the North. All right, so the West, AFC West. This is actually another 5 teams. So you got Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Russell
Yep.
Aiden O'Connell, and Jimmy Garoppolo.
Impressive, dude. You technically went 50 for 52.
Technically 50 for 51 because I knew who I was talking about, Brett Ripon. I just didn't know
Yeah,
his
but
correct name,
you said
but
the name wrong. You said something like Tippin or something, or Pippin
Pippin,
or
yeah. I was like, I
something
think
like
it's.
that.
Then Colt McCoy I got wrong.
Dude, I would still say it's pretty darn impressive. I think you would have done better than me, or I would have done worse than you. Um, because that's a lot of players to list off. So, dude, give yourself a pat on the back. 50 for 52 for Matty Ice.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well, that was a fun
Like a lot of
segment.
them, I knew had like three strings. Like I almost forgot Tyrod Taylor until I said it. I was like, wait, he started the game.
Yeah, and I was gonna say something about the Giants, but you went back to it. So
Mm-hmm.
I
Feels
think it
good.
would have been a lot. I think it would have been a lot better if I didn't tell you if you got it right or wrong, and I just like listed it off to see how good you could do.
Yeah.
Because then I wouldn't have said anything about like, oh, they played on this team,
Colt
and
McCoy,
whatever.
I was like, oh my gosh, I could not think
Oh,
of him.
Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy got me.
How did you not know he went to Texas?
I was so young back then.
But like,
I was
his
8
name is
years
a
old.
Texas name. Like,
Yeah,
if you
I
have the name
know, but still.
McCoy, like, I mean, that's fair. And his quarterback path that he took for
Mm-hmm.
teams is really weird. I didn't even know. I didn't even know that he played for San Francisco. I knew that he played on Cleveland and Washington
Yeah, I know that.
and New York and then Arizona. Because I'm looking at his stats from the combine. His 40-yard dash, it's actually not that bad.
What is it?
4.79.
That's alright for a QB now, but back then that was probably
Yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that was our segment of the quarterback carousel of 50, technically 52 starting quarterbacks for this year, which is just insane.
Yeah, I got two wrong. So hold on. If we do 50 divided by 52,
You probably got like a 90, 94,
96.
95,
96.
96%. That's an A.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna have to do more of these games though.
Yeah. That didn't take as
I
long as I
mean,
thought. I just have to go by
it's
division because if I just say like random names, then I'll get confused. But I was like, if I start with the NFC North, move my way to the West, South, then East, I'll be fine.
for real. It's so easy to get thrown off if you don't
Mm-hmm.
go by the divisions. So hats off to this guy for doing that. We do have another game coming up on this show, which I think it should be a pretty fun one. I think we're going in a Sporkle or something
Yep, Sporkle.
like that. And this time I'll actually get to play the game
Yeah, so
and have some fun.
let's just power through that. These next two.
Let's
Well,
go.
next three actually. We'll save the game for last. So division that's up for the grab right now. Oh, I just got an email. Hold on. Never mind. So, yeah, in my opinion, the division that's grabs is up for grabs is I don't think it needs to be said the NFC South. You have the 4-8 uh, Buccaneers who are one game away from hosting a playoff game and having the seventh round pick. Because the rest are 5-7, and then they're 4-8.
For sure. Yeah.
I don't think because
Um,
I think in every other division is a clear cut. Like the East, I mean, yeah, the Cowboys can still have it. The West is kind of walking away with the Niners, but Seahawks, but after losing the last night game, I don't think they can. The North is going to be the Lions. Um, the South is, like I said, is up for grabs. AFC North, the Ravens are walking away. There's no team that can stop them since Burrow's hurt. AFC East, Miami is looking like it's going to walk away. The West is going to be the Chiefs as always, and then the South, I guess, is also a top. It's actually no, I think they will get wild card teams, but I still think the Jags are because they're the second seed right now. So NFC
Okay.
South is a division that's up for grabs.
I mean, it's so fair right now because yes, it is the closest division, but and it's also, I mean, the worst one by far. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's not even close, but I mean that is a pretty good one to contend for. But on my side, I was actually thinking that I think there's a chance in the AFC North, um, for all of the teams. I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers, now that they've fired Matt Canada as their offensive coordinator, they had their first game last week of over 400 yards of offense since Matt Canada joined their team. And now that he's not with them anymore, I think that the Steelers team has a really good chance to put up a fight against the Ravens. And the Ravens' weakness is the Pittsburgh Steelers. And
That
don't
is true.
forget, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is a top tier defense. And also, let's talk about the Cleveland Browns. Even though they lost to the Denver Broncos, they put up a fight against them. And the Denver Broncos are the hottest team
They are.
in the NFL right now, along with the Philadelphia Eagles. So, I mean, that team, they're so stacked on defense, too. I don't think the Ravens have as good of a defense as neither the Steelers or the Browns. I think the Bengals have lost it, though. But I think it's up for grabs between three teams. I, I do like the Ravens winning the division still, but I think that they've kind of just struggled in some games, like where they don't look like they're amazing, but
Mm-hmm.
yet they've had games where they've blown out teams that are good. Um, I think they're a pretty interesting team to look at, and I think it's also a very interesting division to look
Yeah.
at. I was talking about this division ever since week 5. um, I think when the Bengals returned to normal and then looked good again, and literally all those teams were competing. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's I think it's going to be a really good competition between three of those four teams
I
to
still
get
think
that division.
I still think
Because
that the Ravens are still gonna blow by everyone. Without
and that's a
Watson, I don't think the Browns stand a chance. And then the
and
Steelers are the Steelers. I mean, I think they're one of the worst teams I've seen that has this good of a record.
alongside the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are like undefeated through like 11 weeks with Ben Roethlisberger in his second to last or last season,
They
like
went
that kind of team.
they yeah, basically when they went 11-0, I was like, I feel like they're gonna lose to Commanders tonight, and they end up losing. They get blown out by the Browns
And you
the first
and it's Lamar Jackson at your quarterback position, and all these other guys, they either have slightly to none experience, but if Deshaun Watson come back?
he's out for 4 weeks. If he just got placed on IR last week, he has 3 more weeks.
So if Deshaun Watson could come
But I
back
think he's done
healthy,
for the year though. I'm pretty sure he's
he's
done for
out
the
for the
year.
season, even if they make the playoffs, which I'm
Yeah,
gonna guess
because
they
if
will.
he
But
doesn't get the surgery, it's like you may never be able to throw again. So
oh yeah, that would definitely do it. Yep. Unless you try to throw left-handed, like Drew Brees now.
yeah,
Um, but I think it's gonna be a really close one between those three teams in that division. I'm sorry, Bengals, you're out of it. Ben, I'm sorry. I know the Bengals are your favorite AFC team. I think your guys are done because Joe Cool is gone. And, I mean, hopes and dreams are crushed because Jake Browning is not great. Undrafted quarterback, too. But I think you were pointing out to the AFC South. I think there's an argument you can make with that one, too, because the Colts are up and coming. I mean, the Texans, they came out of nowhere this year. CJ Stroud is looking like a
MVP.
possible MVP candidate.
MVP.
And I don't know why no one's talking about him in the MVP conversation, but that's a different story. I do think the Jaguars are going to take that division, though, just because they have the most experience and they seem the most healthy out of all those teams that are out there. But I think it's the North instead of the NFC South. Because I think in the South, the Saints are going to take it.
Yeah, it's up for grabs, but I think the Falcons have the lead right now.
The Falcons just aren't good. I mean, none of those teams are good.
No, they're all trash, but you get my point.
I think the Saints just have the best defense, which gives them the best shot.
Mm-hmm.
And Derek Carr, a veteran quarterback, compared to all the other quarterbacks. I mean, Baker Mayfield's aight, but Derek Carr is a more veteran quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So I would still put my money on the AFC North, but we'll find out.
Yeah, but yeah, with that being said, we're going to go over our picks. That's next up on our list. So week 13, as we said before, is a current week for...
Do you want us to do top 10s, or do you want us to do picks first?
Oh, please don't open. Okay. Yeah, let's do top 10 because that seems more. Oh yeah, top 10. I didn't even see that. No, yeah, my bad.
Top 10.
No
is
shit. Sorry.
Buddy is just having all the troubles right now, I guess.
I went to click on Discord and accidentally opened up Poke MMO.
What did you open?
Poke MMO. It's a Pokemon game.
Oh.
Oh my gosh. Now my mouse isn't. No.
Dude, you know how funny it would be if that Pokemon game just somehow showed up on your side of the screen for that episode?
Bro,
I mean, it didn't.
Bro, hold on.
Oh no. We might have some technical difficulties over here. Yes.
Dude, I can't my mouse is not showing up.
Either this is going to be one of
Dude,
the more
I can't find my mouse. I can't escape at all.
Either this is going to be one of the more funnier episodes of our show, or this is going to be footage that never gets seen.
Okay, hold on. I think I fixed it.
Can't see my mouse.
It's fixed. Okay, it's fixed. It's fixed. It's fixed.
I think we're gonna have to name this episode "I Can't See My Mouse."
I can't see my mouse.
12.
Oh my gosh, that was super scary because we almost lost 50 minutes of recording.
That would have sucked. 15 minutes, we're not doing bad for how much we've gone through so far.
That scared me because I knew I almost clicked on the Discord. I was like, I think I clicked on it.
Dude, if we would have... I'm not kidding. If we would have lost that footage, I think I would have cried.
I would have been so pissed.
Dude, I actually think I would have cried because I told you this morning that, like, we're going to film our episode, we're going to eat food first, and then hop on right away. And then all of a sudden, my roommates tell me that there's people touring our place today. I'm like, since when is this happening? And they're all like, they sent you an email about it like 4 or 5 times this week. I didn't get a single email about the thing. And I mean, I was getting pissed off and livid over that.
Oh, I don't
And
blame you.
I, I'm glad that those people showed up early though, because I mean, it allows us to
Yeah.
have more time to do this.
Anyways,
But yeah, carry on before
we're
any
just gonna do
other.
right our top tens right off the bat. So I'll just unreveal all of them.
I like it. All right, do it now. Oh, right on cue.
Ooh, okay. Okay.
Interesting.
I don't like your
Interesting.
10. Your 2 is absurd.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
My two is not absurd at all.
Okay. Anyways, we'll go
Do
over
you want me
ours.
to?
I'll
Do you
start
want
with
me to go?
mine.
Okay, you can go first.
Coming at number 10, we have the Denver Broncos. As we said, they're riding a 5-game win streak. They're looking super hot right now. Team that is making a playoff wild card push. I really like where they are going. So they're sneaking into my 5. At 9, I got the Buffalo Bills. I mean, overtime just is not Josh Allen's thing. I mean, oh, I forgot the
Clearly.
Dolphins on here. I forgot the
You're
Dolphins.
the one who messed up this time. I was
I forgot
wondering
the
where they
Dolphins.
were. All right, so who are you
Okay,
replacing?
so I'm going to slide the Dolphins at number 5. So everyone just goes down. So the Broncos are at 11. So at 10 are the Bills. Josh Allen is just like, does not like overtime. He's 0-6 in his career. At 9, we got the Lions. They lost to the Packers, which was super sad on Thanksgiving, but they haven't won a Thanksgiving game in 7 years. And it was like a waxy moon, they automatically lose or something.
The waxing gibbous or
It's something
gibbous?
like that, yeah.
The waxing gibbous moon, I believe. Might be gibbous.
I just heard my roommate just yell. It was the funniest thing.
This
Anyways,
episode's got everything going on.
yeah, at 7, at 8, we have the Houston Texans. Obviously, the Texans with CJ Stroud, they lost the Jaguars off a doinked 58-yard field goal by Matt Amendola. Super unfortunate way to end, but
I would tell you if Dare Gumbawali was kicking the ball, he would have made it.
yeah. At 7, I get the Jacksonville Jaguars sitting right there with the Texans. So, you know the Texans are up there. Um, at 6, I got the Cowboys. This is prior to last night. Um, Speaking about last night, they won 41-35. That's the first time they beat a team over 500 this year. All their wins have been against teams under 500, so that's why I'm not too. That's why I'm saying that the Cowboys are iffy. Anyways, at number 5, I have the Miami Dolphins.
There's Miami in the imaginary number 5 spot for
In
him.
number 5, we got the Dolphins. They played against the Jets, but same thing with Dallas. They haven't played good teams. And when they do play good teams, they got blown out like by the Eagles. So at 4, I got the San Francisco 49ers. San Fran is coming back up. They got over their little slump on their 3-game losing streak. Now they're 8-3. I think they're on a 3-game winning streak actually. But yeah, they're coming back. Number 3, I got Kansas City. I mean, this is always going to be a good division no matter what, but I think they're the second best team in the AFC. I mean, injuries are starting to happen a little bit, but I still like it. You can never count them out. There is Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid, Travis Kelce. It's going to be them. Number 2, I got the Baltimore Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I think they're looking super
Whoa.
dominant. They are playing very well. I think they look like a complete team, even without. Yeah, I just think they look super strong. They've played winning teams with winning records and blowing them out before. Yeah, they have their ups and downs, but I still really like the Ravens. I'll say that at number one, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. I would say they won that electric game against Buffalo. Jake Elliott making a 58-yard field goal to go into
That
overtime.
kick was insane.
That was an insane kick.
In the
In the
rain.
rain too, yeah. That was even more impressive. Now I'll see Jalen Hurts for the go ahead QB draw touchdown. So that's my top 10. Well, top 11.
Thanks for sharing your top 11 with
You're
us.
welcome.
I enjoyed getting another team on there. Um, yeah, I'll just go over my top 10 and then we'll both discuss some of our reasonings behind the spots and probably getting a couple of arguments here because it's how it seems like this is going to be on this one. So, coming in at my number 10, I had the Pittsburgh Steelers. Matt was going crazy over this one, but I think it's a pretty valid argument. The Steelers are 7-4 this year. Compared to check out what team you have at number 9, the Buffalo Bills. They don't even have a winning record.
You're 6-6. Technically, they do.
That's not a winning record. That's 500. But anyways, the Steelers they just played a game against the Bengals. They won 16-10 in that one. That I mean, it was Jake Browning playing quarterback, but it's always a tough game when you go to the concrete jungle in Cincinnati. They got it done. Their defense played well. Their offense had more than 400 yards, like I said. And the game they played before was against the Cleveland Browns. They lost that game by only 3 points. And, I mean, the Browns' defense, I would say, is one of the best defenses in the league. And, I mean, just looking at some of these other games they've played, they've beat the Ravens this year. They've played consistent throughout the entire year with scoring. Their only bad scoring game has been against the 49ers, and that was in week 2. So I'm not too concerned about this team at all. And their upcoming schedule, dude, it's a cakewalk with them. They play the Cardinals next week. And then they play the Patriots the following week. The Colts will be an interesting one for them. Then they play the Bengals back at home. And then they have the Seahawks and then the Ravens for the last game of the year. And that last game could possibly be a game to win the NFC North, or the AFC North, excuse me. So with the way Kenny Pickett's been playing, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, they've both been starting to get things done, especially Jalen Warren in the halfback spot. But Najee Harris, he's starting to find his groove again after that game against Cincinnati. Coming in at my number 9 spot, I have the hottest team right now in the league. And how crazy is it to say that we have the Denver Broncos in our top 10 and 11?
Listen, like we said, they're the hottest team right now, so you got to put some respect on their names. Because we didn't do that last time. Well, you did it with the 49ers.
Yes, I definitely did. Are you talking about the disrespect?
Yeah, I was like, well, hold on. They're on a 6-game winning streak right now. They're 7-4. Maybe we should start putting some respect on their name. I started to. You're like, no, the Niners are horrible. This Brock Purdy guy isn't good. He's not going to lead them to the playoffs. Look where
I guess
we
I
are.
sound like that.
You hated the 49ers. You're like, they lost to the Bears in week 1.
Dude, I had every right to hate them. They lost to the Bears. That's such a valid argument. But you're fair with that. You're fair with it. It's just crazy to say that the Denver Broncos are in this list because, I mean, if you go back 6 weeks ago, you're thinking when they played against the Bears or 7 weeks ago or whatever, that they're like the worst team in the league. And then all of a sudden, Sean Payton, Russell Wilson, figure things out. Cortland Sutton is becoming a great wide receiver on this team. It's actually crazy. Jerry Judy's starting to pick himself up. And I mean, I'm looking at their schedule here. These last few wins that they've had, so they had a great win against the Browns. That's why I don't have the Browns on this list, but I would probably have the Browns in my 11 spot. And then I'd have the Bills at 12.
Mm-hmm.
But they won 29-12 to the Browns with that defense. They had that crazy game against the Vikings.
Yeah.
That was another great football game, by the way. And they ended up beating the Bills in a really close one. And then the game before that, they beat the Chiefs. They entered a really difficult part of their schedule, and they are winning these games. After losing a game 70-20 to the Dolphins, the Broncos have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've won 6 other games since then. They've gone 6 out of 7 since losing that game, which, I mean, after a detrimental loss, hats up to them. And then upcoming for them, they have the Texans. Then the next week is the Chargers. That should be a win for them. Then the Lions, that should be a really good game. It's actually a Sunday Night Football game. And then the Patriots next week, then the Chargers again, and then the Raiders. I see the Broncos winning 4 out of 5 of those games.
Respectable.
Actually, they play 6 more games, but 4 out of 6 or maybe 5 out of 6 for them. So I really like their position they're in right now. Coming in at my number 8, I have the Lions. They lost to a Packers team who looked really good last week. And the problem, though, is the Packers were missing 14 different starters in that game, which is insane to me.
I don't know. Maybe the Lions are falling off because I think they lost. They almost lost to the Bears.
It could have just been the waxing gibbous moon. I'm not so sure yet on this, but Jared Goff didn't look great. He really struggled in that game. He had 2 strip sack fumbles from Rashawn Gary.
Yeah, he was my fantasy QB.
It's a tough one, and yet you still end up beating me because I chose the wrong fantasy QB as well.
Who did you choose?
Whichever one wasn't Patrick Mahomes. Dude, it's because Patrick Mahomes has been sucking the last few weeks until last week.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, the Lions, they look poor against the Packers, even though they almost try to make it a game at the end. I would have had the Lions going into this game against the Packers at maybe 4 or 5, just because their struggle they had against the Bears the previous week. But, I mean, the Bears are the Bears. They choked the game. Lions able to handle the business. But I think it's safe to put them at number 8. We both have them there. Coming in at 7, I have the Dolphins. They have yet to win a game against a team who is above 500. It's just a tough run for them. I think their offense is great. I just don't know why they can't win a game against a team greater than a 500 record.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy to me. So I put them there at 7. Coming in at 6, I have the Jaguars. It played a really close game against the Texans. You already talked about it. I don't have too much to say about these teams upcoming on my list, except for when I go to the number 2 spot, because I have reasons. At number 5, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. This Chiefs team is definitely not like the Chiefs team last year that won the Super Bowl, who had those wide receiver pieces to actually win that game. They didn't do anything in the free agency time to get a wide receiver. They did get one of their guys back. I'm trying to think of his name.
Rice?
Nicole Hardman.
Oh, yeah.
They got him back, but he hasn't really done anything. Rashid Rice, though, he played a great game last week, and if I started him in fantasy as well, I would have beat you. But I didn't because I'm just so bad at fantasy football. But I think the Chiefs, it's safe to say right now that you can tell they're not themselves yet. Um, but once this team does find themselves, they're going to become a really big threat in the AFC and possibly become a Super Bowl contender again. I do see them as being the number two AFC team though in the league. Up at 4, I have the Baltimore Ravens still holding the 1 spot in the AFC for the playoffs as the playoffs are coming up. And the Ravens, I believe they have a pretty simple schedule coming up. I'll look it up for them. Let's see. But Lamar Jackson, the only concern I have with him is how often he tries to scramble with the ball. I've seen a lot of games recently where he scrambles and he just like falls over. So I don't know if it's the grass or his cleats or what. But I just hope he doesn't get injured because he is a pretty good football player. But the Ravens, they have the Rams coming up. They have a bye week this week, but the Rams are coming up for them. And then they play the Jaguars, the 49ers, the Dolphins, and the Steelers. So never mind. That's really
a tough
hard schedule. That is a really hard schedule. Now that I look at it. The Christmas game against the 49ers, that's going to be a good one.
That should be a very good game.
And speaking of the 49ers, I have them at number 3 on this list. After losing those 3 straight games, they look like they're back to normal. They got guys healthy again. Their defense is great. Their offense is great. Christian McCaffrey should be in the MVP conversation, but he's not. Really don't understand that at all. He had 2 touchdowns last week. And I don't really have much else to say about them. They're a really good-looking football team. Just ahead of them, though, I have the Dallas Cowboys at number 2. I'm putting a little more respect on this team because I think they deserve it. Yes, their defense did give up 35 points yesterday to the Seattle Seahawks, but you have to tip your hat off to Dak Prescott because this guy, and I believe he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Month, and the Cowboys also had Darian Bland received the Defensive Player of the Month.
Who also made history.
Darian Bland, yeah, with the 5 touchdowns or pick sixes in the season. Off of that Thanksgiving win against Washington, that was something really cool. And you can argue that they have not played great teams, but they are putting up the numbers on them, which I think you can get the ball rolling once you put up those high numbers. The Dallas Cowboys, 3 out of their last 4 games, they've scored over 40 points. And I don't think many teams have done that in NFL history. I wish I had the actual numbers on it. But the Dallas Cowboys, they look really, really good. CeeDee Lamb is like one of the top 5 wide receivers this year in the league. And I think that, once again, their defense, they did give up points, but they also have that potential to really, flip the tables and turn the tables on these other teams and really put up big numbers. And I think Mike McCarthy's doing a great job as the head coach of this team. I really don't want to see them do well in the playoffs, but at the same time, they deserve to be up in this spot because, they barely lost their game to the Eagles. You can argue that with the Bills, but the Bills, they just can't win the ball games that they need to win, which really affects you as a team. Dallas Cowboys are doing the exact opposite. They're winning these games that you could possibly lose one if you're a good team. And I think once you win those games, that the team can look a lot better and it has a lot more synergy to them. And then in my number 1 spot, it's pretty obvious. It's Philadelphia. Now that it's Christmas season, people are going to be listening to that Philadelphia Christmas album with all the players singing. I've actually listened to some of it. It's quite entertaining, to be honest with you.
And that's
Um,
also with Travis Kelsey as
I,
well.
Travis Kelsey is featured in it, yes, in Fairy Tale of Philadelphia, um, where he sounds like a pirate singing a Disney song. That
Uh,
is legit what it sounds like. But I don't have much to say about Philadelphia. They're also tied with Denver for the most games winning streak right now. Um, and they played in a really close game against the Bills, but man, it was an ugly game nonetheless because of the weather. But they're getting it done on both ends. They don't look like that Super Bowl intent like team that they were last year, like you've pointed out before, but there's something different about this team, and especially after beating the Kansas City Chiefs the other week in Kansas City, that had to have felt really good for them. So they're still going to continue rolling with the football. They're going to get it done. I think they're going to be the number one team in the NFC at the end of the season and probably be that team to go to the Super Bowl this year. That's my top 10.
I mean, I like it, like the respect, but I don't like the Cowboys at two. Definitely a top five team, but not a top three.
I think the Cowboys deserve a lot more respect than what has been given to them.
Yeah, but they've only beaten one team with a winning record. That's the thing that scares me.
And when did they get that win against the team with the winning record?
Seattle, which isn't a very good team with a winning record, but they still let up 35 points at home. Granted, they also have scored 44 straight home games with 40 plus points.
You can say that they gave up those points, but that was a fantastic football game.
It was, but I mean, like Darren Bland forgot that he was almost Trayvon Diggs.
Fair, fair. And speaking of that, I mean, they don't even have him right now. So
No, they don't.
the fact that they're getting this done without him, and once again, I think Micah Parsons is making a name for himself again this year.
Oh,
But
he always has been.
I mean, I mean, he's only been in the league for like 2 or 3 years, but I think it's only been 2 years.
It's something
I
around there. I think it's more than that. Three.
I still
Three or
I still
four.
think though that they're just putting up the numbers. Like I understand that you can say they gave up so many points against this other team, but they got more points. And Seattle's defense isn't like they're not garbage.
No, but they've been on a downhill lately. I mean, there was a while
I'm
that where they were leading the West, but now they're not. They're four games
they
behind now.
were. I'm gonna look at the Seahawks schedule here. They have a tough
Yeah, it doesn't
roll
get
of two
easier for
games
them.
coming up for them. They got the 49ers next and then the Eagles after that. So yeah, good luck to them. But
Yeah.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. Like they gave up 37 to the Ravens, but that was in Baltimore and for some reason Baltimore just dominates teams that look like they're playing really well. Like they did the same thing to the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I the Seahawks beat the Browns this year.
Yeah, that was a good game.
Um,
That was a very good game. But
I don't know. I still think the Cowboys deserve to be up there on the list. I would love to see the Cowboys and 49ers play again though, to actually see what team is better.
mm-hmm.
Because I think both teams are really good. I just think the Eagles are better.
Oh yeah.
So I could almost flip the Cowboys and 49ers on my list. But I think everything else downward, I really
I like
like
it.
what I have. For you, I don't know why the Bills are on there. I do like you having the Texans on there because they are playing really
Just because
well.
how the Bills play, because they should have won that game against Philly.
That's their problem. The Bills can't get the job done.
That's why they're so low.
They should be lower. I think.
But they
I
have too
mean,
many playmakers because when they win big they win big and they look good. Like I said, this is a team that they look like a Super Bowl team 3 weeks in a row. Then the next week they are wondering if they're a playoff team or not.
well, the reason that they competed against Philadelphia was because they were able to run the ball.
Yeah.
And they stuck with running the ball rather than having Josh Allen throw the ball every single freaking time
Mm-hmm.
and try to be like Brett Favre or Patrick Mahomes type of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I think he's trying to be like that when he plays, but eh, I don't know about having the Bills up there. It's just because they can't get it done.
Fair.
But I like the rest of the list that you have. Eagles at one pretty easy. I could see Baltimore being up there too.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs at three. I'm not too sure about them being there because I don't think they found themselves yet. Um, I like your list though.
Thank you, sir.
I do like the Texans up on there. That is a team that I would put in my honorable mention.
Well, they're better than Steelers. I'll tell you that.
I don't know about that. I want to see the Steelers play against the Jaguars and see what happens. I just think that the Steelers' offense is going to be a lot better now. That's why I have them up there. Because Matt Canada sucked.
It's one game though.
It, it, it is one game. Like I said, they played that one game, though, in a tough environment. They got it done. Guess who didn't get it done? The Buffalo Bills. Anyways,
We'll go into our game predictions.
before we do the game predictions, let's go over our records from the last few weeks because we missed a few weeks of football to discuss our records. So over the
So we last time we did
last,
was week 10.
and Matt and I, we've had text messages exchanged with each other about like
Picks.
what our predictions were for like those other weeks. Um and I will say that none of us cheated on our predictions because we made our predictions beforehand. I mean, we can show the people. I'm sure they don't really care though too much, but week 10, starting with that one, Matt, you went 8-6. I went 9-5. And then week 11, this was the greatest week in Dot's history
Yes,
for
the
myself.
best there has been to date.
Because I think the other record was it 13-3.
Yeah, I went 13.
That
I
was
went
the
12 and
best.
3.
I think there was a 13-3 up there. Yep, I had in week 16 of last year, Matt. I went 13-3 on picks
Last year, I think you did.
last year.
Yep, you
Yep,
did.
and I think this record just got broken on week 11. Matt, you went 8-6. I myself went 12-2. So I was very shocked by how many games I got right there because I don't even think I watched that much football because that was the week of my birthday.
Yeah.
And then week 12, Matt, you went 9-7, and I went 11-5. So I caught up by 7 games on you in
Which
the
brings
last 3 weeks.
to Brenden being 108 and 70, and me being 109 and 69.
Nice.
Nice. So, yeah, I got comfortable, but now I'm not too comfortable.
Yeah, I can't believe you were up by 8 games and like Your lead could have like grown even.
See, so here's the thing. After you went like 12-2, I thought I was losing. So there's a lot of those games I was like, I have to pick the underdog to win because I just feel like that this is my only chance to catch up. And like those games, I ended up like not getting. So it was
That
like
yeah.
me not doing the correct math and realizing that I'm just throwing everything away.
Yeah, I after this past week's games, I went onto our document and I added up all of our records to make sure things were right. And I think a couple of addition things were wrong. So everything is now set to its correct state, and you are up by one game on me.
Mm-hmm.
But a really funny thing about this is ever since I've been getting the Thursday night games correct, my record has been I win at least 9 games every time after getting the Thursday night game right. So, Matt, I'm a threat.
You are a threat.
I am a threat to the NFL society, aka Matty Icy.
Also, I
Anyways,
think
now
there's something. So here's my plan. So I think in the meantime we should just do um we'll do another episode because I don't have anything going on after this. Just of the split Sporco and make that a separate episode. We'll record it right after this and upload it.
oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Good
we'll do
idea. Good
that. It would
idea.
end off with our game picks, and then we'll record straight again for our Sportco.
Good idea. I
All
like
right.
it because then we'll be at 13 episodes to in week
Yes.
13.
We are also
Um,
an hour and a half in, so this is a lengthy episode.
we've had a lot to catch up on.
Yes, we that's also part of it.
This is the catch up episode.
Yes. So, anyways, we'll go into our picks. So last night we both picked the Cowboys. Cowboys won. Brandon, if you
Yes,
want to do the
sir.
honors, I'm typing them in.
I got you.
So Colts at Texans. I mean Titans. I mean sorry. Uh, I'm gonna take the Colts in this one. I mean they're a
I,
sneaky
it,
good team. The Titans are kind of out of it by now.
yeah, it's fair to say that I agree with you on the same thing. Titans, they don't have much to play for.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, Will Levis keeps things going with them. But I'm taking the Colts too
Yeah.
because I mean they do have things to play for.
Mm-hmm. Um. Then the next game is Falcons at Jets. This is going to be a very bad game, but I like the Falcons in this one. They're just a better team.
Interesting enough on this one, I'm gonna take the Jets
Oh,
over the Falcons. I think the NFC South is freaking trash.
well, you're not wrong. All right. Next, we got the Lions at the Saints. I believe that the Lions are going to bounce back and win this one.
I am also a very firm believer that Dan Campbell just had a fluke game against the Packers. But the Packers, they are becoming something, but I'm taking the Lions in this one over the Saints.
All right. Next, we got the Broncos at Texans. Um, this
Ooh.
will come down to whether who's home. So I'm going to take the Texans in this one. I like the Texans better than the Broncos since it is home.
I'm gonna keep riding the Broncos country train. Um, I'm starting to show some respect to them. Keep the hot streak going, Denver. This is gonna be a really good game, though. I
That
wouldn't
is
be
going to be a good game.
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a 3 point game
Mm-hmm.
or something really close like that at the end.
So next, we got Chargers at Patriots. I mean, Chargers should be able to win this game. I mean, it's the Patriots. Come on.
It's crazy to think that right now. I'm also taking the Chargers in this game. Um, I'm gonna guess this is Bill Belichick's last year of coaching.
Probably.
Um, Kind of sad, but it's also funny seeing a bunch of Patriots fans complain about their team being bad, and it's like, dude, shut up. Your team won how
You
many
had a
Super
dynasty
Bowls
for
in the
20
last?
years.
Yeah, it's 6 Super Bowls in the last 20 years. It's ridiculous. So, Chargers for the win.
Yes. Next, we got the Cardinals at the Steelers. As much as I was hating on them, give me the Steelers.
That's right. Pick the Steeler Nation. Steeler City is winning.
All right. Then we have Miami at Washington. I mean, it's the team below 500, so give me the Dolphins.
Very logical thinking, sir. I love it. I'm also taking the Dolphins as I spell it
All
wrong.
right. Panthers at Buccaneers. The Panthers are 1-10. Yeah, they're 1-10, and they should lose to the Buccaneers. So I'm gonna take the Buccaneers.
I am also going with the Buccaneers. Stupid Nats, get out of my freaking room.
All right.
Tampa Bay over Carolina.
Game of the week: 49ers at Eagles. The last time these two teams played, the 49ers did not have a quarterback.
They got clapped.
With no quarterback, because Brock Purdy
Well,
had to do um, throw his
they had a
elbow, and then their
they had a
backup got annihilated with concussion, and then they just had to run the ball for 3 quarters of the game.
yeah, they had a quarterback for like 4 plays or something like that, and it was over.
And then they had to run it every single time because Brock Purdy couldn't throw. But the Eagles are the underdogs, so I'm actually going to take the 49ers.
I don't understand how the Eagles could be the underdogs when they're playing a game at home. Like, this is also gonna be like one of the better games of the week. I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles just because they have this game at home, and hopefully the weather is better than it was last week. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, both of those teams got really tired last week, but Philadelphia just had more power in them. Another tough game, but I'm sticking with Philadelphia during the Christmas season.
All right. Next, you got the Browns at the Rams. This should be a good game, I do believe, because the Rams are kind of coming back and making a name for themselves. They're currently the eighth, seventh. They're the ninth seed right now. They would be the eighth. They would have beaten Green Bay, so that's actually really interesting. But I don't know. I'm gonna take the Rams in this one.
Ooh, okay. I I really like your pick, but I'm not gonna go with it because I like Cleveland's defense, and Matt Stafford has had the worst time ever against great defenses, and I don't think the Rams' offensive line is that great. But Kyron Williams, is that his name?
Kyron Williams. Yep.
Yeah, he freaking popped off last week.
Yeah, he was
But
on
that
my
was against
IR bench spot.
that it was on a crappy Cardinals team. So I'm taking the Browns. I like their defense matchup.
All right, Chiefs at Packers. Mahomes' debut at Lambeau. I mean,
And you are going to this
I
game,
am
isn't that
going to this
right?
game, so I'm going to take the Chiefs.
You sick bastard.
I'm taking this game. I'm going to that game just so I can see Travis Kelce get my fantasy points.
Do you need a Chiefs jersey supplied to you for this game?
I mean, where are you going to bring it to me?
I was just asking that just because. But,
I mean, if you want to.
well, I mean, I'm not going to be able to. I was
Well,
just
no.
asking that just because
Oh!
you picked the Chiefs.
Yeah. I don't think your jersey would fit me. So I just got ESPN notification.
It would fit. It's a medium.
Yeah, I'm getting a medium. Um, so obviously we all know that this timeout. I actually finished your pick.
All right. Before some news comes out here, I gotta go with my hometown Packers. I gotta do it. They played a great game against the Lions, and if they can win this game, they have a playoff spot. Or if they win, they get the playoff spot in the 7 seed. So, give me the Packers. The Chiefs can't find their identity. Neither can the Packers, but I think the Packers have a better shot at it just because it's at Lambeau.
All right. Then the last game is Bengals at Jaguars. I mean, give me Duval Jaguars.
Matt's team for the year, the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm going with them too. I was very shocked when Matt said that the Ravens were going to be his Super Bowl team because I thought he picked the Jaguars because you love them so much.
I do like the Jaguars. I still think they can make a deep run. But anyways, those are our picks. Just some news that just came in I found really, really funny. Well, not funny, but shocking. So obviously, we know that this weekend is college football playoffs, where it's
the conference championship.
Conference championship. So this is for the Big Ten title, which is Oklahoma State versus Texas.
The Big 12?
Yeah, Big 12. Did I say Big 10?
Yeah, I think you did.
I meant Big 12. But dead Longhorn found at Oklahoma State frat house one day before school faces Texas in the Big 12 title game. So it is very heated, as you would assume.
Well, Oklahoma State played in that game last year.
They did. I think they got blown out too.
No, I think they barely lost. Or no, I think they won.
Can't remember.
I'm trying to remember, but TCU was in that conference and they played in the Natty.
All right, TCU got blown out in the Natty.
That game sucked. Funny story about that. While that national championship game was going on, I was doing a girls high school basketball game for my work, and I legit said, you guys should tune into this right now rather than that football game, because the basketball game was more entertaining than the football game.
Yeah.
So it's just funny how all that worked out. I'm gonna look that up actually. The Big 12 championship 2022. Yeah.
But anyways, we are gonna end it here. We got through everything at an hour 30, so I guess we'll sign off before Brenden will say his last little bit of information before we sign off. So anyways, thank you guys for joining back us after a little hiatus on a home sideline. It's your boy, Matt Curley, a.k.a. Matty Icy.
And I just did my research. The 2022 Big 12 championship game, the Kansas State Wildcats defeated the TCU Horned Frogs 31-28. How did TCU make the college football playoff? I have no idea. Anyways, on the away sideline here in Stevens Point, Wisconsin, is your boy Brenden Rutzloff, a.k.a. Brett Stockholf, 99 Brett's Brendini. We're back at it. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to episode number 12 here on the Dots podcast. And we'll see you guys next time. Enjoy the football week, everybody.
See you guys later.
Peace.